Schizophrenia, in its definition, would be a mental health condition that serves to be in direct concurrence with the mind and its nefariousness. Basically meaning, my thinking is that it summons a dark path within you that serves to enlighten everything wrong with with your heart and your soul and yourself, and encapsulates it into a demented package. Schizophrenia is evil, yet I feel I am pure, but I have been rotten as if I am a vegetable by my condition at this point. I can still speak well under the logical guise of my words, but the truth is this: I still can't be well, I still can't feel well, I still can't pertain to a deeper happiness that was once within me at all. Because all that serves to do is tell me a lie. Okay, point. Schizophrenia is neurally connected or neurally independent to your minds. Because I've had various degrees of belief on this matter. I've thought it's from the outside, it's being telepathically communicated to me. I've thought it's from the inside, it's being done through my mind solely and surely. I've went into the topic of mental health being a fabrication, a lie. And honestly, I sometimes believe in that a hell of a lot more than the other side of the coin. That it is the absolute truth. But there always is an in-between, isn't there? A topic I've went upon in a past video is that I've been summoned through my mind in simulated spaces, in places on Earth that are born out of a simulated grounds. Well, our planet, I believe, is not fabricated in that sense. It is natural in its inherent design. I'd like to talk about what I think that means, but later. To me, the point of a simulated environment being connected to through my mind is not that I seeked it out in this instance, that it's that it seeked out me. It seeked out I. And the reverse engineering of my schizophrenia under the position of debate that I did, followed through it and complete about a year and 2 months ago or something. Year and a month ago. Probably a year and 3 tops. That position that I took upon my voices made them disappear for 3 months and a half, but then they came back. And to me that was abnormal as hell, because they were truly gone. There was nothing there. See, the scientific reasoning behind mental health is somewhat broken, I think. It isn't wholly there. It is from a pertained viewpoint, as in things pertain to other things, and you can piece things together. And you can form a combination of a description of a mental health problem. But as far as what the mind wanders to, well, there's a lot of doubt in my head that this truly has all been fabricated, just like there's a lot of doubt that it's been real. So again, there's a middle ground, but what does the middle ground stand for? And why is it a thing? Why would there even be a middle ground? And why am I settling on a middle ground? Well, schizophrenia is real for the grand majority of patients out there. And I mean, that goes into the tens of millions of cases, at least. Schizophrenia would be wholly real for those people. In my case, it was triggered, I believe. It was triggered within my mind by an unnatural cause and an unnatural reason. What this essentially means is that it was inserted within me, but more importantly is that it was inserted for a reason and a purpose. Now, what created the midway, because I am in the midway position, was an alert. Or was it noticing? Someone noticed that my condition disappeared from my mind. And they worked against that. Because otherwise, well, otherwise what's the point of me having it? But then you think to yourself, a lot of people recover from this. It doesn't come back. Not like it did to me. Now it's the point where, my organs, my lungs are twisted. And I swear, I sound like I'm telling bullshit and lies. Not to the point that my pee cannot, like I have bladder problems at the very least. Now it's to the point that it's taking control of my entire body, I hate saying this shit. I truly hate saying this shit because I feel deep down no one will believe me, even though my viewer base, which is fairly small, but is very accepting. But, at some point, I just have to tell every truth in my system before I don't find any reason to do so anymore, which I predict to be in about a year. So the truths are as I say, or I see them to be. The midway point means I created a psychic signal in my mind, basically meaning I became a psychic. And there are wonderful implications that can come out of that concept, just like there are terrible, nefarious implications that can come out of it as well. And to touch a bit upon that, the psychic mind on my end has created simply deviousness. It has created nefariousness. And that sucks. That really sucks. But it's also the truth. See, I never wanted to be put in the position I am in, as no one who deals with a mental health issue wants to be put in the position they are in. But my story goes a bit deeper than that, because I've seen myself in the past, and 2 months, 3 months ago, impress, debate with, talk to my voices, and have the strenuency upon my mind lower, but now it's a different ballgame. They don't respond to my concern anymore, they simply mock it. You simply demean it. And that hurts. Because what that does, right, is it creates a further contemplation of insanity within my head. And there are constantly, at all times, barrages of a manipulated intersect that is formed within me that is affected. This is meaning a manipulated sector within my mind that is affected. And it all moves unnaturally. It depends on my actions. It doesn't move in a free-flowed manner. It depends on what I do. It depends on what I say. Now, I love all of you, you know. I think in 2 years to 3 years, I won't be able to say genuinely anymore. Because then my mental will completely have rotten. I will have been turned into a vegetable at that point. I hope not. I think I will have been. But the part that terrifies me the most about all of it, and I'm sorry for deviating so much left and right, I'm a very disorganized person. I'm an excessively disorganized person. But you know, the part that frightens me the most is that it feels like someone's just playing a prank on me. It feels like someone is just mocking me. And yes, this is with my memory turned down so fucking much that I cannot think past 20 seconds in advance. And if I want to think in advance, my memory is lowered even further. My mind is deteriorated further. It's all a mental game that has no end and serves no purpose or root cause other than to mock a disabled patient, which makes it pointless to all of society's eyes. Even psychopaths don't fuck with that shit. But it's happening regardless, which leads me back to the point that it is schizophrenia. But it's not that simple. See, the thing is schizophrenia is something that can be dissipated out of our minds. I'm certain, I'm convinced that there are societies that have had their mental health cured, that have no longer have had mental health at all, mental health issues. And, you know, that saddens me. Because I know for a fact that my premonition is reality. Even though I don't, but I do. I'm made to feel I don't, but I do. I went through a very perilous process. And I know that doesn't explain it, but there are too many correlative links. But regardless, if my mind has truly wandered past the brink, I am no longer here. However, as long as I'm here, I can say for a fact that I could be healed. As if you think about it, the degenerative aspect of your mental and of your body can theoretically be turned around if done through an outside perspective. Literally be turned around. And not only that, but there's a point in my existence that no one will ever recognize beyond people who love me for who I am. But I mean on a deeper end. There's a point in my existence. And it sucks. It sucks to know that at the end of the day, I will never, presumably, never make too much of myself. I'm not being a depressive wreck, because that's what my life has been. I've been led in that direction. I'd like to be more positive about things. I'd like to be able to smile, you know, and say that the world is a great, wonderful, beautiful place for me to be in. When the reality is I foresee myself living here forever. You know, it's a group housing. This is where I am. And I foresee this being the end of my days. I want to touch on a different note. Since I believe I am being watched by an exterior perspective, there's a reason for what's happening to me. Since I know my soul can be cured, there simply is a reason it isn't. Sis, if you capitalize upon a journey that is put in your hand that is incredibly against you, but that you make to be for you, you make to be with you, but that collusion has just so much more strength than one mind. It has an organism behind it. Then to me, there isn't really a point in trying. There's just a point in shutting up to the voices that are outside of you, to the voices that are inside of you, and just hoping that things get better. I love you guys. I don't want to be too depressing, even though I'm massively depressing in this video. Unlike last 2 months, which I could have been seen as more positive of a thinker. All right. So to conclude, which is actually to make it not so barren of a point, the exterior conduct is incredibly nefarious. It has focused its perception on me. The point of there being an exterior conduct is that there is a deeper picture in the life we live after our death, after our passing. Because that's what keeps our lives going. That's what connects them to a deeper picture. That deeper picture has linked and rooted to my psyche, but it has existed long ago outside of it. I called it an afterlife in the past. I'll call it that again. It is a life after death, therefore an afterlife. Where the scenery is beautiful, the people are beautiful, and the lives of the people live are beautiful. But yet, around every beautiful ideal is an ugly decor. Is a horrifyingly corrupt decor. Because if you put someone in a position where they are in a simulated environment, that means there is more potential manipulation that can be put upon them. And this leads to the mind's corruption sometimes, I think. Because it naturally would. Unless you have an incredibly sane, proficient, reasoned person on board that simply cares about people and doesn't care about their own selves over others. Sorry, Lance, for later, Dad. Then you have an undoubtable claim of manipulation abounds. And that, well, sucks, you know? Now the truth is that I feel sad about a lot of things. I've been crying a lot lately, you know. I have. I want to believe that there are greener pastures for all of us in our future, because reincarnation is not a whole idea in my head, but incarnation beyond your life is a whole idea to me. And I believe it is the truth. We don't appear in clouds, but we appear somewhere. But I can't help but feel that my current life in this present day is fading fast. And what comes for me after that is awful. The worst of the worst. And you're thinking I'm being paranoid. And perhaps I am, but You know, if it's shoved in your head 8 hours a day, it's kind of hard, you know, to not be paranoid, to not be hurt. And the reality is, I love myself for such a long time that I hate that I'm being made to not. I love myself. When I was 19 about or 20, I came to really like who I am. That's when I dealt with psychosis. 21, 22. Then it just all hit me. You know, when I was nearing the prime of my life, I feel intellectually, discourse-wise, you know. It just hit me. It just fucking hit me. And, yeah. That's about it. I'm sad. I'm really sad. I'm excessively sad. You know, I've just wanted the opportunity to live, to breathe, to feel, to see the concurrent worldview that other people have, and to see the separation out of independence, and to find optimism in those facts. And I've loved based on that result. I've adored based on that result. A person speaking is one of the most fascinating things ever if it's done properly on that person's end. Discourse, again, conversation is the epitome of beauty. Because you get to know another person and that person gets to know you. But not only do I not have many social relationships, I also don't have a lot of social opportunities as a direct result. I have a social mindset warranted, but you know, it's the point to which I'm being messed with. It's quite overwhelming. I don't know if I'll ever be able to. My memory is meant to regress through this condition, or through the exterior control of it. And it's not normal for someone who's 23 3/4 to forget so much fucking shit. When a year ago they actually had an adept mind and memory. It's not normal. I forgot about my blood test again. Because I chose to eat this morning. I ate this morning, you know? Anyways, thank you. Goodbye. That's about it.